We are taught that royalty is permanent. We build palaces of solid marble, line thrones with gold leaf, and surround estates with iron gates to project an image of eternal power. But history has a way of stripping away crowns, and nature has a way of tearing down walls. Across the continent of Europe, behind dense curtains of oak, pine, and fog, sit forgotten monuments to absolute power. These were the hunting lodges of emperors, the secret summer estates of queens, and the massive castles of fractured royal dynasties. When wars raged, empires fell, or bloodlines simply dried up, the courts vanished. Left in total isolation, the forests did what they always do. They moved in. Step into the shadows of the woods. These are 10 abandoned royal residences lost inside modern European forests. Chapter 1. Château de la mothe-chandeniers, France. Deep in the Vienne region of France, hidden within a thick, marshy woodland, sits a structure that looks less like history and more like a fairy tale. Château de la mothe-chandeniers. Dating back to the 13th century, this stronghold was twice taken by the English during the 100 Years' War, before being completely redesigned into a breathtaking, romantic, neo-Gothic palace for French nobility. But in 1932, a devastating fire tore through the estate, destroying its priceless library, tapestries, and roof. Abandoned to the surrounding woods for nearly a century, the palace underwent a stunning transformation. Today, a moat of dark water isolates the ruins, while mature trees grow directly out of the stone ballrooms, their roots anchoring into the foundations and creating a perfect, living crown of green where aristocrats once danced. Chapter 2. Miranda Castle/Château de Noisy, Belgium. Deep within the dark, rolling forests of the Belgian Ardennes stood a towering neo-Gothic nightmare known as Miranda Castle. Built in 1866 by English architect Edward Milner, it was commissioned by the Liedekerke de Beaufort family, who fled their ancestral home during the French Revolution. It was designed to be a defiant, vertical statement of noble resilience, complete with a massive 180-foot central clock tower. But the 20th century violently fractured the estate. It was occupied by Nazi forces during World War II, transformed into a holiday camp for the children of Belgian railway workers, and completely abandoned in 1991. For decades, it sat lost in the dense pine woods, a favorite haunt of urban explorers. The forest humidity rotted its grand staircases and fueled a massive outbreak of dry rot, causing the stone shell to slowly surrender to the encroaching trees. Chapter 3. Palace of Sans-Souci, Haiti/the Forest of Millau. While our journey focuses on European royalty, European architectural arrogance left a haunting footprint, lost in a Caribbean mountain forest. The Palace of Sans-Souci in Haiti. Built in 1813 by King Henri Christophe, a self-proclaimed monarch who modeled his court strictly after the royal palaces of France and Germany. It was known as the Versailles of the Caribbean. Set against a backdrop of sheer mountain jungle, the palace was a colossal structure of grand staircases, high arched windows, and artificial water gardens. But the royal experiment was short-lived. Following the king's suicide in 1820 and a catastrophic earthquake in 1842, the palace was completely abandoned. The aggressive tropical forest swallowed the classical European columns, choking the brick vaults in thick vines and creating a jarring visual monument where European design meets absolute jungle reclamation. Chapter 4. Hunting Lodge of King John, England. Deep within the ancient, gnarled oaks of the Hampshire woodland lies the sparse stone skeleton of King John's hunting lodge. Built in the early 13th century, this wasn't a palace for grand diplomacy, but a secret royal redoubt King John, the infamous monarch forced to sign the Magna Carta, used this fortified woodland estate to launch hunts into the surrounding royal forests. For centuries, it was a place of high-stakes royal leisure, hosting courts away from the plagues and political turmoil of London. But as the centuries ground on, the royal hunting monopolies dissolved, and the palace faded into obscurity. Today, only a few fractured flint walls remain, completely encircled by ancient trees that were likely just saplings when the king's arrows cut through the forest air. Chapter 5. Chateau de Hers, France hidden. Inside a dense private forest corridor in the Centre-Val de Loire region sits the fading neoclassical facade of Chateau de Hers, built in the late 18th century for a high-ranking courtier of King Louis XVI. It was a pinnacle of Enlightenment architecture. It was designed with perfect mathematical symmetry, intended to bring rational, orderly human design into the wild, chaotic woods. But the French Revolution shattered that order. The estate changed hands, the wealth dried up, and by the late 20th century, the palace was entirely abandoned to the elements. Today, the forest has completely undone the classical symmetry. Trees grow through the collapsed slate roofs, and the intricate plaster molding of the salon ceilings is slowly peeled away by winter frosts, proving that nature always outlasts the most sophisticated human designs. Chapter 6. Podhorse Castle Forest, Ukraine. Once considered one of the most brilliant palace fortresses in Eastern Europe, Podhorse Castle sits on a northern slope surrounded by dense, overgrown parklands and ancient forests. Built in the 17th century for Polish nobility and visited by emperors, it featured a breathtaking Italian garden that cascaded down the hillside into the woods. The 20th century tore the palace to pieces. It was looted during the Soviet-Polish War, converted into a tuberculosis sanatorium after World War II, and suffered a catastrophic fire in 1956 that raged for 3 days. Today, the majestic stone terraces are completely fractured. The wild forest has climbed up the hill, swallowing the classical stone statues and turning the once manicured royal gardens into a dark, impenetrable woodland maze. Chapter 7. Rapogliano Castle, Italy. When we think of Tuscany, we imagine sun-drenched vineyards and rolling hills. But deep inside an unmanaged, dense oak forest near Siena lies the forgotten, fortified palace of Rapogliano, built by medieval lords and expanded during the Renaissance into a luxurious rural retreat. It featured its own private chapel, defensive bastions, and a sprawling noble courtyard. When the local aristocratic lines fractured and faded in the 19th century, the estate was locked and forgotten. Because of the Mediterranean climate, the forest didn't just surround the palace, it invaded it aggressively. Thick ivy has completely enveloped the stone towers, masking them from aerial view, while wild olive trees and dense briars have filled the noble courtyards, creating a silent, hidden green fortress that completely defies the surrounding Tuscan landscape. Chapter 8. Laza Palace, Spain. In the rainy, mist-shrouded mountains of Galicia in northwest Spain, the dense eucalyptus and chestnut forests hide a spectacular, rotting structure known as the Pazo de Laza, built as a grand, sprawling palace for Galician nobility who managed the surrounding royal lands. It featured massive granite coat of arms carved into the walls and expansive internal balconies. As the rural economy collapsed in the early 20th century, the noble family migrated to Madrid, leaving the palace in the hands of the forest. Galicia's intense, continuous rainfall fueled an aggressive ecological takeover. Moss thick as carpets coats the interior stone staircases. Ferns grow out of the cracks in the master fireplaces. And the surrounding forest has grown so dense around the structure that daylight barely reaches the lower floors. Chapter 9. Schloss Vogelöd, Austria. High in the alpine foothills of Austria, surrounded by a steep, dark forest of spruce and fir, sit the crumbling stone ramparts of Schloss Vogelöd. Initially a medieval defensive castle, it was converted during the Renaissance into a highly sophisticated summer hunting palace for Austrian archdukes. The palace was strategically designed to look out over a vast valley, acting as a visual marker of royal dominance over the landscape. But when a newer, more accessible palace was constructed closer to Vienna, Vogelöd was completely abandoned. Over the centuries, the steep alpine forest crawled up the cliffs. The roots of massive fir trees have split the heavy granite walls, and the sweeping views of the valley have been completely blocked by a dense, eternal wall of mountain timber. Chapter 10. Trakai Peninsula Castle, Lithuania. Our final destination rests in the deep, primeval lake shores and forests of Lithuania. The Peninsula Castle at Trakai. Built in the 14th century by the Grand Duke Kęstutis, this massive brick and stone palace fortress was constructed to defend the last pagan duchy of Europe against crusading knights. It was a place of immense strategic power, surrounded by dense forests and treacherous bogs. But after a series of devastating wars with Moscow in the 17th century, the palace was severely damaged and completely abandoned. For nearly 300 years, the dense Baltic forest reclaimed the peninsula. The massive brick defensive towers were swallowed by thick woods, turning an ancient center of imperial pagan power into a silent, forgotten ridge of trees and moss. The kings, queens, and emperors who built these palaces thought their names would be remembered forever through the stones they laid. They believed they had conquered the landscape, but the forest doesn't care about royal lineages or ancient bloodlines. It simply waits for the humans to leave and takes back what was always its own. Which of these lost, silent kingdoms would you dare to walk through? Would you feel the weight of history or just the chill of the woods? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. If you want to keep mapping the hidden ruins, forgotten anomalies, and secret histories of our world, make sure to slam that like button, subscribe to Dark Atlas, and hit that notification bell. Thank you for watching, and remember, nature always outlasts the crown. See you in the next chapter.